Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Game 2 in this Best of 2 series between Newbee and HGT underway. Newbee looking good in game number 1. They took a pretty promising win over HGT in about 35 minutes of gameplay, and we'll see if this will be a quick 2-0 or if the Hyper Glory team can live up to their name and make this a 1-1 Best of 2 series. I am Zyori, and for the first time tonight, joined by a co-caster, we've got Slesh joining us. Hello, friend.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am doing fabulous. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Well, tonight, I just basically woke up not too long ago.
Or today. It's 4 in the morning here. I'm not sure if it's night or morning. I don't know when the Switch crossover actually happens, but
yeah,
it's
something.
something.
Kind of weird. It must be tough being on the Pacific Coast to cast stuff, right?
A little bit. Some things. It's better for some things, crappier for others. I'm still getting a little bit of static on your mic, by the way. I don't know if you...
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to change it a little bit. Hold on.
Okay.
Stupid things. Okay. Is that any better? Or?
Sort of.
Yep.
No, not...
No.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, God. It's getting worse.
Okay. Now?
The static is gone, but now you sound far away.
God damn it. This stupid Skype thing is just resetting my settings all the time. Is it...
Now you're
now,
somewhere in the middle. There's still a... Oh. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like the buzz. It's like you've got the gain knob and you're just turning it up and down. It's like
For God's sake, this is so annoying.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is there, pal. It was working fine the other day when we were casting. I didn't hear a bit of static at all, but...
Oh, yeah, it's weird. I don't know what the problem is, so...
I'm not sure either. Well... HGT managed to first pick themselves the Ancient Apparition. Newbee, they grabbed the Templar Assassin once again. Moo smashed faces. He ruined dreams. And he'll try and do it again.
Yeah, I was watching that game, and it was I think the biggest mistake that HGT made were just not sending the Viper mid. I mean, I think it would have worked out fine. Put the Invoker on the sideline and put Viper mid instead to crush the TA. But this time, TA just got too far ahead. They couldn't deal with it anymore. So.
Yep, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, that was the reason they picked the Viper. It seemed pretty obvious the way they drafted it. Viper counters TA pretty hard, but they didn't really do anything about it. It's like they kind of just rolled the dice and said, all right, Invoker, you try mid, and then... Once he got smashed, they waited too long to rotate, and TA was already pretty big. But HGT with the interesting second pick, they grab Axe.
Yeah, it's a very, very early pick for an Axe, I gotta say. But apparently they just like the hero. They beat LGD with it, so hey, I mean, just don't fix what's broken, right?
Yeah, I mean, that game was just kind of weird in general. I mean, like, against a refresher Doom, and it was just a weird game. I don't know how to chalk that one up to. Was that really the Axe making big plays, or was that just HGT as a team making big plays, and Axe happened to be their initiator in the front line? But, yeah, the second pick Axe is a little bit startling here. I mean, it will deter a Dazzle pick. That's something.
I suppose. Tell you what, since the setting is probably still there, I just changed something up, so I'll call you back in a second. Is that fine? Yeah,
that's fine. Solid. There we go. Oh, the quiet. It feels so good on my ears, guys. It's so nice and not buzzy. I started to feel like there was like a bug stuck in my headset or something, just bizzing around in my earlobes there. But, all right, Newbee, they'll go ahead and third pick the Mirana. So, could be a support Mirana, could be a carry Mirana, as we've seen. It's hard to say. She's pretty flexible. And HGT, they'll get Rubik. So, the Rubik AA combo to support the Axe will probably be an Axe tri-lane with him in the position 1. That's what we see most frequently. But, yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Axe. I'm an Axe hater. I think he's okay in certain niche lineups. I think like an Axe, Shadow Demon, Dazzle tri-lane is something to be afraid of, and I'm getting scared just thinking about it. But throwing in Axe willy-nilly, just going, hey, he's got mutton chops. I've always wanted mutton chops. Let's play that guy. I don't know. I'm just... We'll see. Maybe HGT has something up their sleeve, and we'll see how he fits into this draft coming up here with their 4th and 5th picks, but so far I'm not quite seeing the synergy. Newbee, they 4th pick the Shadow Demon. They think about it for a while, but they'll grab the SD-SK combo which means Mirana will probably not be a support, and they'll have that Arrow Disruption duo to set up kills and the Burrow Strike follow-up. Now, that's a scary tri-lane. I see the synergy between those heroes. You've got your setup, you've got your follow-up stuns, plenty of burst damage after that, and one of them's an agility carry that will kind of scale into the late game. I like it. They've got a little bit of everything. Jesus, dude. The attack of the spammers tonight.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Having some fun in chat. I'm also the head mod here on BTS3 tonight, guys, so we're having a little bit of fun with it. Anyway, we'll see what HGT do to react to this, but I don't know. My co-caster is still not fixed his mic yet, so maybe I'll be solo casting, guys. You never know.
Dire team ban.
So, chatting it up with you guys, taking it sleazy here. HGT, they grabbed the Nature's Prophet. So now it's almost like they're starting to transition into a little bit more of a global strat. I mean, Nature's Prophet will probably be their off-laner. They've got their tri-lane set up, so they need somebody in the mid. Viper's already been taken out. They could do a Venomancer mid if they really want to try and counter this TA. Veno's another hero that kind of makes poo-poo all over the Templar Assassin. Caca throwing caca. So that could be an option. I'm not sure how much of their resources they want to put into countering this TA. It's a little bit hard to say. Both teams will take their time with their final bans, though. Newbee will settle on a ban on the OD. Oh, getting a call from Slesh. Hello.
Yes. Is it any better?
Yes, I hear no static.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, well, that's a positive thing.
What did you do? What was the fix?
The fix? I booted up my laptop.
All right, fair enough.
Apparently, I don't know. I think it's the microphone input on my PC that's just, I don't know, a bit weirded out. I think I need to fix it at some point. But
yeah.
The one on my laptop seems to be totally fine, so we just go with that.
All right, well, I'm into it, man. If it works for you, it works for me. You sound crystal clear, and that's really what matters. So glad to have you back. We are getting into our final picks here. OD and Nakes, the final bans coming out. We'll see what Newbee grab. They'll need either an offlaner or a carry hero. Mirana will prove flexible. But I see the synergy between the Newbee heroes. HGT, though, I'm still trying to figure out what they're going for with this draft. They've got some gank. They've got some lane control. They've got a little bit of push. Not a lot of disables. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, the Axe pick just, you don't have the Dazzle on your team, so you're not going to creep skip. That's a given. And I suppose you can still try to do it with Rubik and then Ancient Apparition to back you up, but that would not be particularly safe, I think. So I'm not sure what they are trying to do. Like, Newbee have a stereotypical, just an overall good lineup. They have Mirana, who currently we do not know if that's a support or if it's a core hero. You could run both Sand King or Mirana as core heroes. So interesting to see what it is. But you have the Shadow Demon to set up the arrow combination, so it gets a lot easier. And TA traps also help a lot in that regard. So Newbee just overall have a good lineup. And HGT, the last pick Doom from Newbee is really, really, really smart, because HGT are gonna pick another carry, I believe. So, or unless they want to run Nature's Prophet as the solo carry, but or they could send in mid, I suppose, or they want a strong mid laner. And Doom is just reserved for the last pick that HGT pick up, because HGT are currently lacking a tempo controller. And so the only thing that needs to be done, if it's a Storm or something, they can't really pick Storm now. I mean, I suppose they can, but they would just be shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah. So Doom just completely nullifies the last pick of HGT, which is really good.
Yeah, and it gives them a solid offlaner. There's that Xiaowei Doom, and Alchemist, the final choice. So that will be an Alchemist solo mid, probably. Nature's Prophet in the offlane. Then you've got your funky Axe tri-lane with Rubik and Ancient Apparition. So, all right, Alchemist, he's got some tools in his kit to try and deal with this Templar Assassin. He'll throw out some acid sprays, and that damage over time will help deal with the refraction, but I don't know. I always hate to be too cynical at the end of the draft, but I feel like Newbee really has the better draft here by a pretty big margin.
Yeah, I would agree. Although the Alchemist can do fine with acid spray spam, I mean, just the later the game goes, the TA melt strikes just completely annihilate him. Like, Alchemist has 0 armor to speak of in a way, so you still get annihilated. And he's very susceptible to the ganks that Newbee can just put out. Like, Shadow Demon Sand King can just roam around and just kill the Alchemist the whole time before he hits 6. And even when he hits 6, I think they have the damage to kill him, so...
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Alchemist right now. Ever since they nerfed his stun, and I shouldn't say nerfed, maybe fixed is the right word. It used to be just completely, disgustingly, overpoweredly strong, and now Alchemist just seems lackluster. I've seen him in the mid-roll a fair bit. In the East, teams still have been running him a little, but it just hasn't been successful. More often than not, when I see him in the mid lane, he just gets ganked a couple of times, and then he spends a lot of time trying to recover farm, and at best, he finds some mediocre farm in the mid game, and that ends up just being kind of, not really that scary, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure is on Zedison Day this game. He's playing the basically one position Nature's Prophet, so, and they might, is that what I think it is? I mean, he bought a Basilius, so we might actually see a quad lane or something funky. That would actually be really funny, because normally if you're soloing, you don't go for the Bassi ring on 1. I mean, just, you normally don't, I mean,
off-lane Nature's Prophet basically needs boots if he wants to have a chance in lane. Without boots, you can just jump on him. And it is ZSMJ on the Nature's Prophet.
I suppose you can solo safe lane the Prophet with his item build, but still, I mean, I think you need more regen.
Yeah, 1 pooled tango and no boots. That's bold.
Yeah, just saying, it's not necessarily a solo. It's not a solo item build. So I don't know what they're trying to do. As I said, they might just go quad lane or something really funny. But Kaka is definitely gonna go mid with his item build, just rushing the bottle. And Axe on the off lane is something we are seeing quite often recently. So
ZSMJ,
they're just gonna completely miss each other. HGT smoked for it, but still, they're not gonna catch anybody with it.
Yep. Both teams with the 5-man invade will prove unsuccessful. We see an observer ward come down from HGT right smack dab in the middle of the lane, and this is a really odd position. Usually the lane wards are more around this area, right outside of the tower range, and just give you insight into who's hiding behind the tower. This is extra aggressive. So HGT, they're up to something funky here. They are going to try and secure first blood. They'll hide in the trees, and they'll do this HY style. Now, on the Dire side, they put down some observers of their own. They'll get one here to block the creep pull, and then they'll get one on the high ground here, give a little vision of the rune, and this entryway into the Radiant Jungle. So this is already shaping up to be an interesting game here, Slesh. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for him, though.
Yeah, it looks like, well, Prophet is staying top, so I think it's a quad lane. It's actually a quad lane.
Wow. And Mandy Baby, here we go. XCT goes in. No Berserker's Call, but will they have the damage? They need one more auto attack. The disruption, that buys him some time, but they still have Chilling Touch. And Mandy Baby, only so many places he can go. Yeah, he's got no salve. He's just got tangos. But here's the stun. First blood could come out on Ancient Apparition. No, now Sand King. He'll be forced back. Ancient Apparition gets that kill. They'll scout out Mandy Baby in the trees.
No, they don't.
No, he didn't? Oh, how did he not see him? Oh, gosh. Well, they find the first blood, so already this is proving semi-successful. They will chip away at the tower now. XTT, he's just cutting the lane. He's got plenty of tangos, so he'll just keep chewing through them.
He was spinning like a madman. I mean, I think he spun like 3 times on the Sand King, which is why he died. So
gotta love that RNG.
I find it funny, but thing is, they're probably gonna get the tier 1 really early, and then Prophet's gonna TP bot lane. I suppose the thought is Prophet cannot zone out the Doombringer anyway, so you might as well just get an early advantage and then try to do something.
Yeah, they'll press forward once again. Telekinesis onto Mandy Baby, but they throw a disruption onto the Axe, and he'll leap as soon as he gets telekinesed back. Sand King back in the action, and he will burrow strike forward. XTT, Berserker's Call onto Banana. A few more auto attacks ought to do it. Ancient Apparition will secure that one. That'll make it 2-0, but Rubik falls. That's a 1-for-1, and now Xiao Wei joining the party. Uh-oh. Axe just gets cleaned up. So it'll be 2-2 in hero kills, but they did get this first tower dead in the first 2 minutes. So I guess that's a victory for HGT. I'm not really sure how to label that. They've got a big gold lead, but experience starting to go the way of Newbee already.
Yeah, I know the Axe respawns and just goes bot lane, and they leave the Prophet to go offlane. He got the tower denied, so now he has his boots. The really positive thing is that they got first blood. That was kind of important. Also because Hao was forced to go leap on level 1, so they couldn't retaliate at all. So the tower would fall definitely because he didn't have arrow. He only had leap, so he was level 1 for like really long time until the kills happened. So
right.
I think it's a good move by HGT. It does give them an early advantage, but more importantly, it's just bot lane Doom had some free farm, but he's only 9 for 0. So I don't know what Xiao was doing, but I think with the completely free farming Doom, never mind. Korea just dies to ZSMJ.
Yep, he TPs to the mid lane and they scattered out in the trees.
Man. Yeah, what a player.
And on the bottom. Okay, I thought there was going to be initiation on the Xiao Wait, and indeed there will be. A Berserker's Call comes out, but XTT takes some tower shots, and he will not be able to sustain his presence here, diving this tower onto Doom. But yeah, the early bit of farm they gave Xiao Wait is not really that scary. I think it's more the TA being the last hit leader here. Last game, Mu was just a complete destroyer, and he's well on his way to do the same this game. And 17-4, I guess Alchemist is doing decently. Kakai is 14-2, but TA in good shape, and ooh, Sand King.
Did you see what happened?
No, I saw him get hit by the tower and run away, but
he tried to go for the Radiant Courier, so.
Oh yeah. Well, unsuccessful, but noble. What are they pinging? They're pinging like crazy here. Maybe they think the Sands King is still inbound.
Yeah, it's a lot of wasted time for the Alchemist now. So
yeah,
he's also holding on to one skill point, which I don't know why, but you can just go level 3 Acid Spray. Tends to be the preferred build. He goes for 1 stack and checks to top roof. Maybe he's gonna get it if he's lucky. Well, he's a bit unlucky. So Regen Rune on bot lane is gonna spawn.
Yep. And it looks like the supports from HGT will rotate down. It'll be a race for the rune. Xiao 8 in the mix, but Ancient Apparition will grab the regen, denies it from Mu. And now...
And does go in the right direction, just continues going. If you turn back, it would have been dead, so...
Yep.
Really good decision making. And once again, they realize the Doom can't really lane against the Axe, so they send the Mirana bot lane instead. And, yeah.
Courier?
They just do lane rotations. Are they gonna do... He's level 4 only. The Doom's actually kind of low level at the moment.
Yeah. Well...
He doesn't have a Centaur Stomp, so that's going to be...
Alright. I think they'll find a kill on the Ancient Apparition here. Yeah, they sure will. And that was much needed. That was the level 2 on Sand King. And oh, Disruption connects here. And they'll be able to finish off XTT, I think. Burrow Strike. He'll be forced to back out as the counter helixes are starting to add up. Berserker's Call buys him some time, but it's not enough, and Mandy Baby secures that kill. So Newbee gets some kills up on the board, and most importantly, they get experience for their starved supports. Both Lee as well as Banana are just so underleveled right now. Those kills were a necessity.
Yeah, the trouble for HGT really is just Axe is kind of, in a way, is a momentum based too. Like if you're getting crushed with an Axe in your team, he's gonna be too afraid to jump in. So
yeah,
it's not a good thing. And as you said, mid lane just Mu is handily winning this matchup. I mean, Alchemist is getting his farm, but Mu is getting more out of it.
Yeah, and Newbee, they'll group up about the bottom lane. This is an awkward laning stage. Both teams are rotating around so much and just pressuring towers, looking for opportunities to find farm. ZSMJ is low level but has a lot of farm. He's halfway through 4, but already has phase boots, started with the Ring of Basilius, and another 600 gold to spare. And the Doom, he's just desperately trying to hit level 6 at this point. He's pretty close now, well into level 5, but he needs that ultimate.
Yeah. The Radiant supports are just, I don't know, they're wandering around, they do not, the pulling camp is still blocked, so they don't get that. They do see the Mirana, are they going to get the call off? Yeah,
and
nice second Burrow Strike, they're just trying to buy him some time, but that's going to be his death as well as Prophet TP's in.
Yep, the Courier does survive, had a couple of wards on it, but 2-0 going the way of HGT. And let's just take a glance at the graph and see how things are looking. About 2,000 gold, but in their favor, but experience is leveled out just around 0. So we are tied up 4-4 here at the 6-minute mark. And Axe now has Tranquil Boots. He is level 6, and about halfway to his Blink Dagger, if that's what he wants to go for first. HGT will group up for a tier 1 tower push in the bottom lane. Glyph comes out from Newbee straight away. And Newbee will sort of make a hold here. They'll at least poke forward. Arrow will connect onto the Nature's Prophet. Disruption started off onto Axe, and now the rest of Newbee rotating in. Doom is level 6, has the ultimate online. Burrow Strike onto Pretty Haw. He'll actually burn the Doom for this. And, wow, they wanted that Rubik. They'll get him, and they defend their tower.
That was a lot of hate on the Rubik. He was dead anyhow. That was kind of a wasted Doom there by Xiao 8, but still, the Rubik also did one really big mistake by turning around and fade bolting them. If he just continued running, he has arcane boots. He's a lot faster than the Sand King. He would have been out of range.
Yep.
So, I don't know. He's actually not faster. Never mind. He's actually 345 because of the base move is even lower, but still. It's 5 moves speed slower than the Sand King. But I think he would have gotten away, but he turned around for the Fate Bolt, so I don't know what that was about.
Yeah. Just trying to do some extra damage. Misread the situation. So HGT do get repelled, and as you were talking about, a very momentum-based lineup. They will not scale into the late game quite as well as Newbee. The Doom and the TA last game proved very potent past that 30-minute mark once the carry power started to kick in, and this time they'll have this Marana core mixed in, and Mandy Baby's farm is pretty decent. They'll find initiation onto ZSMJ in the bottom lane, and that'll be another kill up on the scoreboard, 6-4 here at the 8-minute mark, as they finish off Nature's Prophet down bottom and do a little bit of extra chip damage to this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they just have so much setup for the arrow. It's not that hard to hit an arrow against that lineup. So
yeah,
with Shadow Demon and Sand King on your team, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to land arrows. And Moose has his Midas as well. So Boots, Midas, Bottle. He's going to be just fine.
Yep, looking pretty good. Has a regeneration rune bottled up as well. There's that bottom tier 1 tower, so it will be 1-to-1 in total tower count now. That levels things out a little bit. And yeah, we'll see that gold graph jump much closer to 0 as Newbee do take the experience edge in this game as well. Alchemist is clearing out ancient stacks now, so his CS seems a little bit lackluster compared to the TA, but in terms of net worth, he's doing just fine. And once he finishes off these few ancients here, he'll be on point with the TA, if not actually ahead. So Kanka is doing a good job, and he will be the mech carrier here. Has the core pieces, and is about halfway to the recipe after phase boots. So that is good news for HGT. That'll give them some ability to fight here in the mid game. And a farmed Alchemist is always something to be feared, but I just don't know that it'll be enough. There's a lot riding on his back in terms of carry power after they get out of this laning phase.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but he did a really good job, and it was completely unchecked up until now. I mean, Mu just dropped up the Psionic Trap now, but before that, nobody warded off the Ancient Camp, so I think he got 5 camps or something. So even with the Midas, Mu is behind him in levels, which is kind of funny. Now he isn't, now they're just on par, but before that, Alchemist was actually ahead after clearing out the Ancient stack, so it's really, really good. He has a complete mech, which is really important. So yeah, the Prophet is not going to get the mech because he really needs to do the damage, most of it. Prophet is TPing in. I don't know if that's a particularly good idea. Newbee are currently... Oh, there's a blink on the Axe.
Yeah,
and they do spot up Banana, so that should be a very easy kill there. Get down, son.
Yep, and their smoke gets revealed. Oh, Sand King. He burrow strikes to the low ground just in the nick of time. Doom ultimate comes out onto the Nature's Prophet, but Mech is there. That picks him back up. Arrow connects onto XTT. Burrow strike forward from the Sand King. Yeah, will connect onto Pretty Haw. They really want to finish off this Axe. They'll chase him down, and they'll secure that kill. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight on the high ground, Mu standing his ground, but will get telekinesed, and he could be in some trouble. No, they'll finish off Rubik. Refraction comes out. The negative earn charge is not enough to finish him off, and Newbee come out the victors of this fight. Kaka, in retreat mode, throws out the unstable concoction, but that shadow poison is stacking up. 3 stacks already, make it 4. And will they continue to pursue? He does have unstable concoction, no, pardon me, chemical rage on.
I was going to hit, actually, but I don't think they have the damage to kill him.
Yeah, the regeneration from their chemical rage is just too much. And, oh, beautiful disruption comes out. And that buys Xiao Wei some space, but...
to disrupt there.
Yeah, well, with Axe blinking in, probably not, but it did disjoint the unstable concoction, which is what he was going for. Now HGT, they'll get aggressive, they'll dive this tower, telekinesis onto Banana, And out comes the stun as well. Rubik gets finished off by the Mirana around the backside. Shadow Demon will fall. Now Moo joining the party. Once XTT, he'll get decapitated.
Nice.
Mandy Baby will use the Starstorm, cleans up the axe. Now going blow for blow with Kaka. No Chemical Rage available, but the concoction is charging.
Oh,
the leap. That was an unfortunate leap. And ZSMJ in the mid. He'll continue to pressure this tower. Sand King in the Sandstorm. They have no detection. Glyph comes out, and this will actually clear up the creep wave pretty effectively. 2 ports coming in. First is Banana. There's your Burrow Strike. And, the disruption just a little bit too late. He still throws the concoction.
They do have a Doom available, but still. That was kind of weird. I mean, the Alchemist just didn't die throughout the whole engagement, which kind of lasted like 2 minutes. So that was pretty big. The Alchemist did a lot of work in that one, but
yeah,
Newbee still, they're fighting against the mech, and they are still coming out even. And they have a minus on the TA. So for HGT, it's not enough to just get even trades. They need to get ahead. And they need to get ahead fast, which is why they're grouping up constantly. But
yeah, well, they have Handamitis out on the Nature's Prophet now, and this will be a Tier 1 tower kill. With Kaka now level 11, that's level 2 chemical range, and they didn't have the damage to bring him down before, and I'm sure they won't have the damage to bring him down too easily now. Certainly not in least until TA gets some more items under her belt. She'll have power treads now and be close to level 11 as she farms the Radiant Jungle. And she may get caught, though. XTT rotates in, almost catches her. But they will not cross paths. Small stroke of luck here for Moo, I think.
She does have a TP scroll, but he's still running around. He's probably going to just run into the AA and kill it. Just kind of sad.
Oh,
1,
no.
2, 3, 4 hits. Yeah.
Poor S. That should have been a kill on the TA, not the other way around. But defensive disruption comes out. Moonlight Shadow flies as well. And Newbee, they'll just retreat out.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for the AA. Because when you see the TA, you already know it's too late. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just die.
Yeah. Now, Mech did come out onto Zhao 8's Doom, so finally Newbee have that AoE healing tool, and that will help them out in the upcoming skirmishes. ZSMJ up top, he'll TP into an arrow, Starstorm, and he gets the RNG. That extra star connects, ends up being an easy kill for Hao. Tagged up as Mandy Baby. He'll TP home. That's his Drum of Endurance. Nicely done. Just finds a free kill on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, that was very well done, and it's really just... I mean, it was not very well played by ZSMJ. He's overall been playing a really good game, but getting caught up by an arrow is just a recipe for disaster. And Alchemist is just going for that typical super build that VG Gaming Super likes to go on, as Alchemist kind of popularized it, which is the Space Mech into Sanjin Yacha. So
okay.
It is a very good build. It busts up the movement speed really nicely and tanks him up a bit. I mean, he doesn't need the HP regen from Vanguard, so that's wasted, but just raw HP is fine. So
yeah,
Sanjin Yacha overall just a fairly good item on Alchemist. Newbee is just so easy with their lineup. They're on the die as well, so easy Roshan for Moo.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wants, he can get a blink down with his gold.
Yep. So Aegis on the TA, and yeah, 2160 gold. We'll see what Moo picks up. He may go the blink route, or may go for something else. There's now a blink dagger on the Sand King, though he is level 8 with no epicenter. He is 440, so that will be a level 9 epicenter leveling here. Which, well, maybe a few weeks ago I would have said, this is kind of weird, but I'm pretty used to it now. We've seen these kind of core Sand Kings just sitting back and farming early on. And a 15-minute Blink Dagger, not too shabby. Doesn't have Arcane Boots, but thanks to those Blink Dagger changes,
mid lane. I think they're going to kill him
get
twice
away with it.
if Newbee don't react in time.
Yep. There's the first one.
Number 1. Doom's coming in, though. Are they going to get him again? Yeah, I think he's dead.
Yep.
Wow, just Melt Strike returned there from the Rubik, and they're going to get the Doom as well because of the A ultimate. So, really, really huge plays there from HGT. I think
it's not over yet.
Hao as well.
Hao is in trouble.
Over.
Yeah, he gets decapitated. That's a 3. That's a 3-0. Nature's Prophet gets picked off in the bottom lane while all that's happening, but it's a 3-0 in the mid.
It was just unfortunate. I mean, the Newbee were just seeing that as a real bot lane, so everybody was, apart from TA, were like, yeah, let's go kill him. TA has Aegis, they're not going to kill him twice anyway, but they did. So that was actually a big win there for HGT. I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that Newbee has the advantage, though. So.
Yeah, TA will grab the Blink Dagger. The goal difference is negligible. Newbee with a pretty decent experience edge, about 2k. Going their way. Now, this Tier 2 in the mid lane takes some pretty heavy pressure. It looks like it will fall. The bottom Tier 2 Was being pressured by the Sand King, but he will choose to back out. Doesn't commit to it. And there you have it. HGT come out ahead in that tower exchange. That will take the total tower count now 3-1 in HGT's favor.
It's very important for HGT to just continuously apply the pressure there. I mean, they just can't let Newbee get ahead with the Midas on the TA and Mirana farming and Doom farming. You're just going to lose in the farming war. So they really need to push the towers, which is why we see them forcing fights, which is absolutely the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
The trouble is just if they lose one really big fight, it's very difficult to get back on track again because you lose momentum and yeah. At least with the 2 kills that Axe got, he's very close to his Aghanim Scepter, so we might actually see Axe get incredibly fat. If he gets his Aghanim Scepter in a timely manner, I think they can just burst the TA in the core the whole time. So that would be pretty big actually. If they can kill the TA every time, it's a fight won.
And he's only about 700 gold away, so it won't be too much longer till we see that item come out. The Nature's Prophet very close to a Necro Book as well. We will see initiation in the Dire Jungle. Sand King, he blinks back, but still gets hit by the Unstable Concoction, tries to disjoint it, but that ain't happening. They do force out the Moonlight Shadow, and Newbee will be pretty much in retreat mode here. Sentry Ward comes down, so they had their bases covered, and it will be an unsuccessful gank. Banana's actually still smoked up, but won't find much with it.
Yeah, it's Moo is apparently just ignoring his team. He's never with his team. He's just off farming on his own. So I suppose it's one way to play TA if you have the Midas and you think you're not going to get killed early, so you might as well just continue farming until your ability as an agility carry just kicks in. So
yeah,
it's fine. It's okay.
Yep. And Kaka, he's getting close to his Sanjin Yasha. He's got 1,700 gold now. Finally has some points up in Grievel's Greed since he is level 13 after all. So we'll see his farm start to boost up a little bit. Any other item progression? No, it doesn't look like it. Just the 2 Blink Daggers. Mirana, 1,600 gold. Probably a Manta will be her next item of choice following the Drums phase. Nothing too crazy about it. And there's your level 1 Necro Book out on the Nature's Prophet.
Which got really delayed. He died like 3 times already. He doesn't have a single kill to his name, so he got killed all over again. The whole time he got soloed by the Mirana, then got called out on bot lane, so it really hurt his item progression. And since he is the 1 position, like, it's very difficult. Looks like they want to... Okay, they faked the TP on bot lane, but now basically Newbee say we're going to defend this tower. Are they going to? I don't think they can.
Yeah, this was sort of an odd... I mean, Moo may commit to this tier 2 in the bottom lane, so it will be a tier 2 for tier 2 exchange. But HGT, they've got the pushing momentum, and they're looking hungry for high ground here.
Yeah.
They burn their glyph.
Still going to get the tier 2, though. They're not going to defend the tier 2, and I think they can defend high ground quite handily. They have an epicenter up on the SK, so... I really don't think that HGT can...
He's not in position, though. He's got the Blink Dagger, but he's way by the Dire Secret Shop. So they're going to do at least some damage to this tower before the Sand King gets into position. And they'll throw a stun out on Doom. Sand King hops forward, just a burrow strike. No epicenter quite yet. He's taking heavy damage. He'll fall before the epicenter comes out. TA gets telekinesed, pulled into the fight. Kaka got disrupted. Now he'll wake up.
I think.
Arrow connects onto the Nature's Prophet, but the follow-up won't be there. This Alchemist is just too tanky right now. The regeneration is ridiculous. He'll stun himself. He gets doomed, but now Axe hops forward. There's a 3-man Berserker call, and TA will finish off Alchemist as well as the Rubik. Oh, man. Moo's just starting to hit hard. Nature's Prophet will pour it out. Meanwhile, in the lane, Axe gets cleaned up, and Ancient Apparition, he'll TP back to safety. So even though the Sand King fed a little bit to start that fight off, Newbee, they take it pretty convincingly in the end.
Yeah, that was really bad for HGT. I don't think they had any chance of actually getting into the base and feeding the kills there to Newbee. I mean, of course, Sand King died, fine, but the rest of the team just got all the XP and gold from the kills. And Mirana now has a Maelstrom, so she can split push really nicely. And I have no idea how HGT are going to deal with it, because Nature's Prophet is completely underfarmed. Like, Prophet, we rarely see ZSMJ being underfarmed, but he is in this game. So he's not going to be able to split push against the Mirana. In fact, I think the Mirana, if he catches the Prophet with an arrow, she's just going to solo him. So
yeah,
that's pretty sad. It's very difficult since Newbee's just Doom has Blink, SK has Blink, so if there is one lone hero on the lane, which tends to be the Prophet, he's just dead, straight up.
Yeah, and there's your Desolator on TA. So that's the hard-hitting item. Not the choice he went last game straight away. He went into a BKB, but here, level 16, Moo is ready to do some damage. And I think it's a smart choice. Not a lot of high armor heroes on HGT. Actually, no agility heroes. So ZSMJ with only 9 armor, Axe with 10, Alchemist with 11, Rubik with 3, and the Ancient Apparition with 4. This is a great Desolator game. Mech is really their only plus armor, or they don't even have a Basilius. Oh, yes, they do. It's on the Nature's Prophet. So a little bit of armor, but yeah, this Desolator going to be devastating.
Yeah, if he currently has a DD rune in his bottle, so if he actually sees the Rubik or A on his own, it's a one-shot with Melt Strike. Like, no joke. The Rubik has less than 800 HP. It's an instant one-shot.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty sad.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh,
Bottom.
Yeah, Epicenter getting channeled down bottom. They want to defend this tower. Really? No? Okay, fine. They just stay in the trees. Just, you know, just Epicenter in the trees. It's fine.
Just a casual Epicenter. Yeah.
Casual Epicenter, man.
Moonlight Shadow. The tier 1 tower's already gone down. They do want to defend. SK just looking for the opening to blink over the trees and burrow strike. But this is kind of an awkward defense here. They've already burned 2 of their big cooldowns.
So it's kind of bad.
Yeah, and he'll hop forward. Does catch the Rubik. But Axe jumps in, and this is just sort of an awkward fight.
The Doom.
Yep. Marana does connect with an arrow onto XTT. Xiao Wei is doomed himself, but they'll press forward. Rubik and Axe both fall. And now Nature's Prophet trying to port out. Do they have the stun? No, they don't. He'll make it out to safety. Doom may fall to Kaka. No, manages to get to Mech off right before the unstable concoction. And the arrow will be off the mark. Kaka with the chemical rage on. I don't think they'll be able to drop him. TA has the damage with the double damage room, but doesn't have the lockdown. TA throwing out the deeps. XTT does catch it with the Berserker's Call. And
you're on your own, man.
Moo just gets completely isolated.
Yeah, the rest of his team just completely bailed, so there was no point where he could solo the Alchemist. That was kind of bad. But still, Newbee, they do come out ahead overall in the team fight, so it's fine, even without an Epicenter. So Doom getting Doom was, of course, kind of annoying, but still, they got the supports just melted. They just died instantly.
Yeah.
HGT supports just die every fight within 2 seconds.
Still a pretty even game, though. HGT come out pretty far ahead in that fight. Newbee have a huge experience edge, but HGT will move into second Roche. TA buys back. They want to contest this.
And they can, I think. If HGT commit, I don't think they should commit.
Yeah, Roche still with way too many hit points. They just can't kill him fast enough. The acid spray helps, but
I believe TA should just blink into the Roche pit and finish it off herself. But they don't have any. Yeah, now they have the psionic trap inside, so they know what's going on. Where's the Sand King? Sand King body, you gotta be in position, man. Sand King?
He doesn't have his ultimate up for another 5 seconds. Looks like he'll have it just in the nick of time. Xiao Wei hops forward. Moonlight Shadow on. Oh, no. The burrow strike off the mark. A ultimate comes in, connects with both of them. Arrow flies through the middle. Does smack ZSMJ, but that is a dead Sand King to get this started. And he is your key hero in the Roche pit. Now HGT. They come up the high ground. Disruption to separate Newbee a little bit. And who's going to be the target of choice? It's Moo. They'll lock him down. He can't get off the refraction. He'll fall. And, oh, XTT, he gets high ground, and he's also doomed. They secure that kill onto Axe. He did buy back recently, so he will be down for the count now.
They bought back the Sand King as well, but the biggest problem is just Moo just dies every time. It's this failed burrow strike from the Sand King, and then Rubik steals it and returns it, and yeah, fights one, basically. Focusing on the Axe was not particularly smart, because they have to protect Moo a lot more. If you went for the Desolator build, then they really need to protect him better. And we ended up getting burrow strike. This one's a lot better there. Using 2 heroes, so they're still, Sand King is going to fall, because the Alchemist just chops him to bits.
Yeah, and down goes the Doom as well. Mandy Baby not out of the clear. He's completely out of mana. Does have a leap available, but just can't use it. This will be another kill. That will be a 1 for 4 HGT. They might be able to take this game now, picking up a lot of momentum. They'll get Roche.
It's really weird, but it's just Newbee were fighting once again without the TA, so... And they were blinking up, basically up the cliff right here, which is where they had no vision. He did catch 2 heroes with it, but you still don't know who is behind them. So that's once again, free team fight 1, free Aegis. And they should probably give it to the Axe, since he's the one initiating, and
Yep, and they'll do just that. Kaka is getting huge, though. He's now level 16, so Chemical
Kaka is
Rage...
unkillable. They can't kill the Alchemist. He's just too tanky and too fast as well. He can just kite them around all day.
Yeah.
XTT just casually chops a creep to get to the movement speed and attack speed buff, I suppose.
Yep, that's exactly why. And this Alchemist, though, like he's tanky, and he also does a lot of damage. Any of these supports that get close to him, he can just cut him down. Even if you doom him, if he gets Chemical Rage off, you might as well just doom someone else, because he can just... He just cuts through it, man. It just doesn't really matter. It doesn't slow him down enough. Moo could be in trouble. ZSMJ coming in as well. Do they have the detection? No.
Oh, that was so close.
Ooh.
That was so close with the blink. The Acid just came out, so he blinked before the first tick.
Yeah.
That was very close. If Moo got caught out there, I think Moo is just not on his game. I mean, he completely stomped the first game, I suppose, but still, it's overall just bad play from him. He's constantly without his team getting caught, so he's really, really fat, but he's not putting his farm to use, really. And the rest of his team, though, also engaging without him when he was still dead was also not a particularly good move. So, a bit of coordination issues. I think it's just overall sloppy play there from Newbee. I think they had the game, but they kind of threw it.
Yeah, I mean, last TA game, he went to BKB so he could play this kind of man mode TA a little bit more effectively and just hop straight into the fights, BKB, and there wasn't much they could do about it. Here with the Desolator, it seems like he's not... Oh, that arrow. It seems like he's not really... what's the right word? He's just not playing the build appropriately. Like, he's using the exact same playstyle that he did last game, but he's doing a different build, and the two don't really mesh with one another. When you have the Desolator, you have to be a lot more cautious. You're more like the guy that takes out the trash. You can't be the initiator. You have to sit back and come in a little bit later on, because once you get locked down, he's just got no escape tool. He's got no bailout.
Yeah, it just... I think, I mean, of course, they have a standing. Newbee has a standing. I mean, Lee is playing the Sand King, so... Of course, they've never really, I don't know, they probably played together in some pubs or something, but never really playing together in the team, so a bit of coordination issues. This Sand King play has not exactly been good this game, so... Yeah.
Well, now HGT, they go straight up the high ground. Glyph used already by Newbee, but Alchemist, he's just chunking this tower. Chemical Rage online, and it is doing some work. By the time Newbee are in position and ready to defend, they've already lost their Tier 3 tower, and HGT, they just backed the hell out of there. They got what they came for. They don't need to commit to that. They'll be happy with that tower, and they'll just go back to farming.
Yeah, they need to get their Axe, so it's kind of important for them if they want to win the game. Axe is starting to pay off, but his call is currently the one that constantly kills the TA, so...
Yep.
The Berserker's call is so good.
Pretty good counter to Meld Strike, I have to say.
I think it's the main reason why Move didn't go straight to BKB, because just Berserker's call goes through it, Ancient Apparition ulti goes through it if you're below the threshold, and Alchemist with his minus armor just chops on you in profit as well. They don't really have a lot of magic damage per se, but still, I think he should have gotten it. It's a bit deceptive, but Rubik is constantly locking down in the fight with Borrow Strikes and lifts and everything, so he can't really DPS properly. He's going for the BKB now, which is the correct choice, but I think it's a bit late.
Yep. Well, Brax are exposed, the no glyph available. Kaka on the front lines. He does have himself the Assault Karas, but he gets obliterated. Doom ultimate completely locks him down. TA gets the kill. And HGT, they'll continue to take this fight for now, but they're on the back foot. XTT taking pretty hefty damage. Epicenter flies, but doesn't really do any damage. The heroes are already out of harm's way. They'll proc the Aegis. Axe coming back up. Nature's Prophet will fall. XTT falls again. And it will be a 3-0. That was just keen initiation. And oh, it's not over. They've got a disruption out on Pretty Ha. And yeah, that'll make it an easy 4-0. Just a great jump from Xiao 8. He saw that Alchemist getting a little bit too bold, too far forward, and just hopped on him. And Alchemist may be tanky, but he's not unkillable.
I think the AA is going to die as well.
Yeah.
Second has Burst Strike ready. There would pretty much be max range if he cast it instantly, but he can just chase a bit more. I mean, he's higher movement speed, so it's going to be a complete team. As I said, although HGT just appeared to have the advantage through some consistent one fights, Newbee have been far easier to execute lineup. They just have better right click, a lot more damage. And this time, if they just blow up the Alchemist, who's the one carrying the mag and the AC, it's yeah. I thought they didn't have the damage to kill him, but then again they killed him so fast that HGT didn't have time to react. Like X didn't jump in like while they went on the Alchemist or anything. Alchemist just died. They probably just thought the same. It's Alchemist too tanky. They're not going to kill him. But with Soul Catcher on the Shadow Demon and everything basically gets thrown in his face, he does die kind of easily. So.
Yeah. So some sort of a connection issue here. We'll take a look at the players, and they're pointing and yelling, and I don't know what's happening, but we see some G's, so it looks like we will go in just a moment.
Yeah, the black screen, so. Yeah.
All right, here we are.
A is gonna die.
He's got a Force Staff in 1 second, but yep, just 1 second too late. 5-0, a full team like Newbee. They don't lose a single hero. And now they will be the aggressors. They'll press forward. Buyback situation for the Radiant side. ZSMJ and Rubik each have one, but that's about
they're
it.
Pinging the top tower instead, so they can backdoor that one. I mean, Hal could just do it solo.
Yep, so they'll just get a tower kill out of it. They won't be able to break the base or anything like that. I got a little too excited.
Respawn times, just look at the amount of sentry wards in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Just because of Moonlight Shadow. I mean, I suppose it's good. It's a good thing that HG is actually doing. I mean, we see many teams sometimes just failing into the runner because they do not buy enough sentries.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of overkill, but better safe than sorry, I guess, in a situation like that. Especially once your Alchemist gets completely shut down like that, you kind of go into panic mode. Just everything, unleash the cannons, put the wards down. Let's do this. Kind of just, I don't know. I can see how they may have panicked in that last team fight with their frontliner getting completely obliterated. But Nature's Prophet, he'll grab the Scythe of Vice now. So they have another crowd control. And Ancient Apparition, well, he's still pretty far from the Ag Scepter, but he's got a point booster, so he's tanking up a little bit as well.
The problem with the Prophet is he can't really man fight against the line the Newbee have. He loses in the right-click battle against both Mirana and TA. So he really needs the support from his team, as do all of the HG heroes. I mean, it's no point in just having one Axe or one Alchemist in front. They still die if Newbee is able to focus fire them. So Second picked up a 4-star, which is a really good item to just type people around. Haste Rune on the Doombringer, and we need to see another smoke gunner for HGT, but Newbee currently have the high ground, so, and they're not going to move. I mean, it's so obvious. Nobody on the map.
Yeah.
Still, Moo is going to come out. He does have his BKB though, so are they going to call on him? Yeah, they're going to Doom the Axe and go on Moo. Nice disruption, buying him some time there.
And a big epicenter doing a good bit of damage here. Kaka will get taken down by the TA, and now Ancient Apparition gets left behind. Axe has already fallen. It'll be a 3-0, and the other two members of HGT are just in full retreat mode. Pretty Hawes hightailing it back to the base, and ZSMJ, he'll just TP up top. He's carrying the gem as well, so Nature's Prophet just trying to survive. Newbee, they will go straight up the mid lane.
Yeah, that's really... They're going to get the tier 2 for sure. Nice, interesting 4-star there from the Sand King once again, but he's having some really weird plays. It's kind of hit or miss for him. But...
Yep, and yeah, they finish off now the top tier 2 tower. Is it? Oh, there is no top tier 2 tower. Okay. Pardon me. Mid tier 3 though, taking heavy damage. Senking actually gets picked off by the Rubik. I just failed the camera there a little bit. But Kaka, he bought back. He'll get stunned and they'll drop him again. They just have the damage now. TA a little bit too strong. Glyph is available for HGT, but they won't burn it. They'll let their melee racks fall before they use their Glyph. Now Axe coming forward. He does blink with a Berserker's Call. Defensive disruption onto Zhao 8. He'll now get telekinesis pulled back up to the high ground, but he gets force stabbed down. A lot of damage coming out. The Wrath of Nature doing a ton. But,
oh, so nice. That was so nice from the Shadow Demon. Banana canceled his blink with the Shadow Poison.
Another negative earn charge will be enough to finish him off. Axe gets put in the disruption. Shadow Demon trying to TP home, but he'll get turned into a little piggy. And Banana will pay. They'll finish him off. He won't be making a retreat, but at the end of the day, Newbee got what they came for, and they get the melee racks in the mid. So they have a pretty sizable advantage here.
It doesn't even matter that they lose Shadow Demon and Doom. I mean, does Doom have buyback? Yeah, he's got buyback, so... I don't think HGT can really push. Alchemist is still dead, so... That's pretty terrible. It's just overall, I think in the end, it still comes down to the draft. HGT kind of need to play close to a flawless game in order to win it, because their lineup is just so much based on gaining the advantage. They can't really fight from behind. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like, while Newbee you see them lose a few team fights, and they still come out ahead in the end because they have better scaling and just have, as I said, they have better disable and better team fight. So
yeah,
it's I think overall the draft just wasn't as good as Newbee's. So they can play as well as they want. I'm not saying they're completely out of the game. I mean, Newbee sometimes has a tendency to throw. So yeah, they're definitely not out of the game yet, but it's looking very grim. I think if Newbee right now just don't make any really silly mistakes, they're just going to take the game.
Yeah, I think HGT would have been in an okay position if the Alchemist didn't have a dieback there, but he was so scary maybe 10 minutes ago, but now he hasn't really made much item progression. He's had to buy back. He's died a couple of times. And Sanjin Yasha assault Kuras mech at the 36-minute mark. It's just not that scary. He hits pretty fast. He doesn't hit as hard now. And there was that period of time where he was just too tanky. They couldn't burst him down through Chemical Rage. That window has since passed. And now Newbee are not struggling whatsoever just to drop him. And yeah, that's definitely a problem. Both sides do have a gem, so there won't be too many wards out on the map right now. Radiant does have a couple down. They just put this fresh guy down. But yeah, both sides carrying gems. Zhao 8 will be smoked up alongside the rest of his team. And now Newbee, they're looking to gank somebody and then maybe make that final death push.
Yeah. Currently, HGT, they do have a trend there, so they do see that Roshan is up, but Newbee are just going to do the old wraparound, really. Shiva's into Blink, I suppose.
Yep.
There we go.
Mjolnir buff out on Zhao Wei. He'll get Hex to start things off. Burrow strike forward from the Sand King. ZSMJ in big trouble. He'll be the first to go down. Kaka, he's in trouble as well. Defensive disruption buys the Sand King some time, but he falls the Alchemist as soon as he pops out. Axe, he takes the Doom ultimate. The rest of the fight breaking out down south. Now TA just trying to chase down these supports. Banana on the run as well. Nope, Pretty Hall will come in and finish him off, but it'll cost him their Alchemist. TA blinks, and he'll finish off the Ancient Apparition. It is a 2 for 2 now, 3 for 3 on the field, but there were a couple buybacks burned. Actually just one, and it was on ZSMJ. He'll try and TP home, but he gets interrupted, and that will be a dieback. He also drops the gem. I'm not sure if they saw it. I don't think they did. Those were blue pings coming out, so they'll leave it just sitting in the trees there, but Newbee, basically a 4 for 2 if you count the double kill on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he was standing on top of the silent trap and not getting out, but he's fine now. It's just Newbee losing the two supports, it doesn't matter. I mean, the 3 core heroes are so fat, so
yeah,
it's an easy Roshan, and once again in one fight, and HGT's time is just running out. Like, unless, as I said, unless Newbee throw, this game is pretty much gone. So.
Yeah, easy third Roche. Aegis and Cheese down. Aegis goes to the TA. Cheese goes to the Doom. And everyone gets a little bit more money. Now the gold graph just over 10,000. Experience even further in their favor. Mirana grabs an MKB. TA grabs a Daedalus after the Desolator. Yeah.
He still has 3.4k, but
wow.
So it's basically enough for a tier with 3 lives. You know, he's got Aegis, he can buy back, buy boost of travel, go in again. Not that I think he's gonna die 2 times. So.
Yep. So HGT, they were struggling to fend off Newbee before, and now things will be even more difficult. The Newbee carries are just too fat. We're at that stage of the game, 40 minutes in, where the carries take over, man. TA, Mirana, and Doom, their 3 cores are just super, super scary.
Yeah, that Doom, in contrast to the Alchemist, is actually unkillable for the lineup of HGT, because they do not have a real physical DPS. Prophet is so underfarmed that he doesn't have a single DPS item. And Alchemist has Sanjin Yasha AC, so he's lacking a damage item as well. I suppose AC is nice and all, but
yeah.
Doom with Chivas and Mech, and also it's got Cheese, so...
Yeah, exactly. There was that window where like the tankiness and Alk allowed him to carry, but he's just not tanky enough anymore. He doesn't have enough armor to deal with the Desolator, and he doesn't have a huge HP pool, and now he just doesn't hit hard.
Yeah, it's for HGT it's just so difficult. I mean, Newbee are never going to clump up that HGT's Axe can blink in a core like all 3 cores. Like, one of the cores is definitely going to be outside and dealing the damage, and then they just can't do anything in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, disruption into tower push basically. You were used to seeing him. They make the call and the axe. Just look at him. Look at his HP.
He just gets destroyed. They do secure a kill on the Sand King, which is something, but it's at a pretty big cost. They'll lose their Ancient Apparition. Axe will buy back. So this may hold them off for now. With ZSMJ pressuring the bottom tier 3, they will be forced to glyph. And the Rat Dota keeping them in the game right now, but Axe, it may be a dieback coming out as this TA doing a lot of damage. Arrow from Mandy Baby secures the kill. Now Unstable Concoction onto Moo. This will proc the Aegis, but this Mirana, she's just going ham. She'll finish off the Nature's Prophet there. Disruption onto Kaka. He does not have a Chemical Rage, and I think he'll be destined to fall.
And Arrow's gonna miss, actually. Why would you fire the arrow? You could just right-click. He's not gonna die because of it. I think just Mirana could just continue right-clicking instead.
Yeah, well, they'll settle for structures. Melee racks taking heavy damage with the Desolator debuff. Yeah, they'll secure the barracks kills, and
That's fine.
it's pretty much game at this point. Newbee just moments from sealing the deal. Only 2 alive. It is Kaka and Pretty Haw. The lone defenders. There's your Burrow Strike forward. All that burst damage. The Daedalus on TA is just too much. Burrow Strike for good measure coming out. Mirana, BKB on. Oh, 6 hit points to spare.
That was really close. So it's, yeah, and with that we call it GG. So it was, in the end, as I said, I think the draft just decided the game. Unless HGT could get ahead really badly, Newbee was still going to take it in the late game. I mean, we are not even in the late game yet. We're like, wow. Kind of early late game, end of the mid game, I suppose. So.
Yeah, well, we're not. Yeah, at that point where carries start to actually carry, man. Pretty similar to game 1. This was a pretty comparable set of matches in this best of 2. Both teams just. Well, no, both games HGT drafting a much more mid-game oriented lineup. Both games Newbee getting TA and Doom, and here they had Mirana. And both games Newbee just hang in there. They find even trades, and then at the end their carries are just a bit too fat for HGT to handle. So that is the conclusion of our second series. Newbee take it 2-0 over HGT. Our last series of the night will be DT versus CIS. So 2 teams we haven't seen at all tonight. We'll get to see Black and see how he fares against Dreamtime. So that'll be coming up next. I'm Zyori. With me this game was Slesh. And thank you for joining us here on BTS3, guys. I know there's a lot of Beyond the Summit coverage happening right now, and we're glad you guys are enjoying some WPC Ace. So after this short break, more Dota 2 coming your way.